Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what's going on here. Um, Welcome back to Bullish and Bearish Trading. We'll get back into every single week's watch list. I'm not a financial advisor, as I said. Make sure to go like, subscribe, and comment. If you did enjoy, do not. If you did not, make sure to leave any feedback or anything like that down in the comment section. And let's get started. So, as we move into our first stock for the week, we have GAN. So recently, GAN lost one of its partners. Um, here, lost one of its partners for their casino. My bad. For their casino platform. So as we saw here, um, back in it reached levels of 20 plus, and the high was $23 and 47 cents for a 52-week high. And if we look at the if we look at the range for since it started, it had been all the way up in an uptrend till earnings report came out, and then we saw a downtrend. Um, and it's after they had announced that they had lost partnership with Duofan um, back here in a couple months ago in August, but then they started going down into a downtrend. As you can see here, their moving average just kept going lower and lower, but then we see here that it did hit a bottom, as you could tell here, and VWAPs has started to increase, as you can see here in this yellow line. Also, moving average has also increased by a lot, and also here, if we look at the RSI, we start seeing it rebound up from here. We saw an uptrend, really good uptrend, $16, where the RSI was being overbought. Then we hit another bottom here for the RSI, and then as obviously people can start seeing this negative volume, we start seeing the negative volume start to decrease here, as you can see in these red bars going decreasing. Moving average starting to spike back up, as you can tell here, the purple line starting just right there. Ended green for the last 2 days, which is really great. Also, as you can see here, the volume has started to become really green, so more buys. Also, for the oops, sorry. For the volume, it has really gone a lot lower, but as earnings report has been announced, this is also a great opportunity because more people want to come into this opportunity, as you can see here, and we just ride the uptrend. Obviously, we don't want to play those earning plays because they could either go really down or really up based on how people react, and most of the reactions for earnings are overreactions. The free float market is 252 million, which is really low, and shares out 0.94, so we could really have a breakout here. A really nice breakout. As you can see here, we did have a nice breakout here, probably another short float, but I think this is a really great opportunity for us. Now next we have another good opportunity here that we see is Plug Power. So here, as you can see, we as again we saw a big uptrend here, big uptrends. A lot of big moves, as you could see here with the MACD, really moving up high, just big here, uptrend boom, uptrend boom, another uptrend boom. So when the MACD is like that, we just see gaps that need to be filled. So as you could tell here in this, the gaps are being filled, but now we have reached the bottom, because as you can see here, the Plug Power 52-week high is 1902. So here, and then we just start seeing a downtrend. An RSI is starting just to bottom out. We see a bottom here in RSI oversold at $26. So that is where around our bottom is. Then we see another gap being filled right here in this downtrend. as you can see here, boom and boom, gap filled here, gap filled here, and then as you can see, um, the bottoms still get filled. A really nice, really nice uptrend. But now, as you could tell here, we start seeing another uptrend in this stock as we hit this bottom, this particular bottom, at $14.02. I mean, 36 cents. So as the RSI starts to go below 30, we see a big change in the RSI leading up to 54.82. So as the moving average starts to lower, we see this opportunity and we have to take it. So you see here that the VWAP is just really out of the place. So as you can see here with these, as you see my cursor, we see really big uptrends. So big uptrend here, maybe a little bit sold off, as you can see here in this RSI. Then we see another just plain simple days. Then we see another big uptrend in this, as you could tell, in this moving average and VWAP, and then another. So most of its gains were mostly from overnight holds with gaps that which needed to be filled. So as you can see here, we see this moving average start to go back up. So we see a little uptrend, so that, and also we see that volume mark starting to turn green. We see RSI starting to move up. So this is also a great great opportunity to find, as we just see this uptrend and take it. So obviously no earnings report is coming out, but as we see this going from oversold to starting to balance out in green volume, and starting to pick back up from the bottom that we did have, as you can see here, from this week. I think this is a great opportunity that we can see next week. And I mean, I think this is just a really hot sector that can blow up, as we could see here in this electric vehicle sector. A lot of stocks are popping, based on also on the presidential election, as both presidents are for electric vehicles. So as we also saw with Diamond Peak Holdings, DPCH, ticker symbol DPCH, we saw a really big trend here in when Donald Trump talked about it here in back then. We see a really big uptrend right here, as you can see, gap being filled overnight. So probably pre-market pump, because Donald Trump's talked about it. So that's also another way of explaining what can happen during these political views, as maybe I could, as a political viewer. So that's another really good stock that we should look out for next week. Stock for the week that we have today is UPS. Yes, UPS. So honestly, I don't really have much to say about the technicals here, but what I can say is that it is, I think we expect a major run up for earnings. I don't think we should play earnings, because it's just really volatile, especially with the presidential election, and also as most earnings report are really weird, and we don't know what to expect as usual. But as I was saying, here we see a big uptrend, almost around, as we can see, 10%, and then we see it start to bounce back down from this big uptrend, and go back to the levels that it was before in this bottom that we saw here. So another we saw this big uptrend here, probably because of just, you see, as you can see here, this is just a really good long-term stock. So if you do want to get into this long-term, then go for it too. It's not a bad opportunity to take, especially if earnings report do go well, and we see the CEO talking about their upcoming earnings reports, and maybe their how they could lead into the future. So that's also a really good thing to look at. for a long term. But as you can see here, their earnings report on the 28th. I think we ride this uptrend and then sell right before earnings. I don't think we do play the earnings report, as we don't really know what happens. And of course, we get this at a cheaper price. The volume probably is red. It's turning from the RSI hit about what here we can see 31.58 oversold. We start seeing a bounce back little by little. As you can see here, look, oversold, turn right back to overbought. Here we see a lot of red candles, oversold candles, a lot of oversold candles here, more than green. So that's also another indicator that maybe we could follow up with a bounce back. If earnings report do come out and bad, maybe we could even have another more red volume candles, and maybe we could just ride the uptrend back up to see if this was overreaction, as most of it is an overreaction. We finished up the week red with this stock, but honestly, I think we should see a major bounce back at leading up to earnings report, and maybe we could, if depending on how earnings report does happen, maybe we could bounce back in and ride this back up as people start to notice this becoming an overreaction, if it does tend to go to the downside. But of course, I honestly think that this should go well with the earnings report. I'm not saying you should play it or not play it, but I honestly think it should lead to an uptrend. Also, because of the e-commerce boom due to the pandemic and quarantine, I think we should see big numbers leading up to this to this to this earnings report. Also, as you can see, we saw a big uptrend starting off from our from the March levels. From the March levels, we saw $94, around $94, as we go back to the levels here. We saw around $88 from these levels, and then we saw, if as we go back up to the highs of these times, we see almost 100% gains from March levels, and I honestly think this should reach higher levels. Honestly, I don't think that it should increase as much as it did, but I think that this, as inflation goes, this should really be a good long-term hold, as we don't know what could happen with this pandemic, and more people are coming up to e-commerce. Also, Walmart up trying to challenge Amazon, and Amazon always just coming out with big numbers, and e-commerce just being the main thing right now because of the pandemic. Most people don't want to go outside, and a lot of new competitions are coming to e-commerce, and as we see in Wayfair, Shopify, Apple. A lot of, as we also saw with the FedEx earnings report, we saw a 5% uptrend that earnings report. So I think we should see the same thing with this UPS. So that will be all for this week. If you do have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do offer their classes for you guys, so if you are interested, make sure to shoot me a DM either on Twitter or Instagram, or tell any of the people that you know. Thank you guys for watching again. This is all really helpful, not only for you but for me, if you do participate in watching my videos. So big thank you to you guys. Peace out and have a good week. Let's get rich.